Hey everyone, it is MTS, aka Mel the Scientist, and we are back again with another Chainsaw Man episode. This time it's episode 10, and this was quite an episode as well. That's always the case with Chainsaw Man. Every episode is very unique, and we will get to all of the details. But first, how are you? How are you doing? Please let me know if you are here in the comments, and let me know all of your thoughts that you have about this episode and I can't wait to talk to you about it. But first, I'm going to pull up some commercials.
Introducing my first ever merch item, the official MTS bracelet. It's designed and handmade by yours truly and is composed of MTS letter charms, black lava stones, and sodalite. Sodalite is a semi-precious stone that promotes alignment of the head and the heart, allowing you to think logically and solve problems with more ease. I also apply a jewelry shield that protects those with sensitive skin from metallic irritation, so you can wear your MTS bracelet with pride. There are two variations, one with rhinestone accents and one incorporating hematite, which is an iron oxide material with its own healing properties. You'll also receive a personally handwritten note by me thanking you for supporting my business. You can find the MTS bracelet on my small jewelry business site, mellowstorybox.com. Thank you so much.
And while we are talking about mellowstorybox.com, it is December, it is Christmas time. I know if you probably place an order right now, it probably may come like after Christmas or even on Christmas. However, if you still would like a handmade gift for your loved one, I have my handmade jewelry business, Mellow Story Box, and I make a vast array of bracelets, earrings, chokers, rings. I make resin rings as well. Um, and yeah, I actually have an order of 6 items that I have to send to the post office tomorrow, so I'll be doing that. But yeah, visit the website, and if you want something that's handmade, with love and affection, Mellow Story Box is definitely the place for you. So go on ahead and place your orders now if you would like those handmade gifts for yourself or for somebody else, and that is www.mellowstorybox.com. Also, while we're at it, I started my second channel, Mel the Gamer, which is my channel to play games that I've always wanted to play and just live out my gamer fantasy. And I've been starting with the Aliens Fireteam Elite game. That's on Xbox, and that's one of my favorite games ever, probably my favorite shooting game ever. And as a person who loves sci-fi like the Alien franchise. It's actually a sequel to the Alien movies. So if you want to follow along with what that sequel is, then watch my video gameplays. I already have 5 videos posted. So the Fireteam Elite campaign is 12 separate missions. And I'm going to be posting all 12 of those. They're coming out, I spell like every 2 days. And I finally finished filming all those 12 parts, and get ready because there's going to be a lot of screaming, some cursing. Mel the Gamer is where you want to go to if you want to see a more laid back, relaxed, unedited version of Mel the Scientist, where we just have fun. We let loose, we just get comfortable. I scream when something terrifies me. I curse if something accidentally startles me, and get ready. I just finished filming all of them. It's gonna be a great time. So just watch all the videos, follow the storyline. All 12 will be released very soon, just one after the other, and I hope you have fun with that. So subscribe to Mel the Gamer. I will make sure to put the link in the description after I'm done with this video, so you should see it if you are watching the replay of it. And yeah, that's about it with those promotions. Without further ado, let's get into this wild episode, which was episode 10 of Chainsaw Man. This was quite an interesting. Oh, we have a comment. All of your love, your long hair so shiny and smooth, your bright eyes, the way you move, will not lose you and let you go complete my heart so much with all those curves, you're gonna make me crash. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. If that's actually talking about me, then thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for watching. And yeah, if you have more comments, let me know. I will be glad to show them. Um, But yeah, let us move on with Chainsaw Man episode 10. So we left off with so the news is reporting the email, reporting the news in the news that the debacle that happened in the previous episode with those yakuza members killing the public safety division 4, um and just like how it was just a wild situation. And we have Aki, who made it out alive, thank goodness. And he is in the hospital bed, and Denji and Power are in there with him, um, and just reading the manga and fighting over apples and such, as they, of course, they would do. And uh, once he wakes up, he asks if anyone else from Division 4 survived, especially because he definitely saw him and go away, so he's just trying to verify. And unfortunately, only a few survived, and everyone else died, unfortunately. Yeah. So once they leave the room and whatever, when they see he's awake, he pulls out the sword next to him that was given to him by the cursed devil, and he asks how much time he has left. And unfortunately, that number is 2 years. I was wondering myself how much time he had, which also begs the question: how many times has he used the sword? Because if he hadn't used the sword, how much time would he have left anyway? Because he works with public safety. And I mean, we don't know if he was going to live long or not, but also how many times has he used the sword. But also, you can see why Himeno was so protective of him and making sure he didn't use the sword back when they were fighting the Eternity Devil. And Denji was just like, what? I mean, yeah, he wanted to use the sword, and Himeno was like, no, Denji, you're just gonna have to die if that's the case, because I'm not letting him take more years off of his life. So I really want to know how much life it actually takes from you when you use it. It doesn't seem like they'll take 1 year off. I don't think it's got to be like, I mean, two at the very least. They'll probably take off every time you use it. So that's just that's not cool. And to be honest, after this episode, when we get to the end, I feel like there's better contracts he could have made besides one that gives up his life every time he uses it. Um, but yeah, that's an unfortunate deal. I don't think I personally would have made that one. But the ones that he has to make at the end of this episode, not entirely sure I would have done that either. But yeah, and he just gets emotional thinking about Himeno, probably everybody else, but mostly her. And he even tries to go for a cigarette, and he can't because he thought about Himeno, and yeah, he can't even smoke anymore without thinking about it. So, um, yeah, so that's the first time we really see him get emotional, and it's sad. And so on the outside, Denji is thinking about how, well, he was trying to go back in there because he left his manga in there, and he saw him crying, so he just decided not to go back in. But he thought about how, like, he was like, wow, Himeno tried to be my friend too, so why don't I have the same emotional reaction? He's like, is something wrong with me? He was like, if Power died, I would not really care. Himeno died, and I don't really feel too much about it. If Aki died, I probably wouldn't feel too much about it. I was like, well, that's probably a little mean because, you've been living with him and eating his food and living under his roof. And I was like, you'd have to feel a little something, just a little bit. But he said if Makima died, he would probably like be sad for like a couple days and then go back to life. I was like, well, not the way you feel about her, because if it really is just sexual, then that's not love, my boy. Um, so, but he's 16. What does he know? Um, so yeah, he's just having these thoughts, and if it finally hits him that he hasn't been emotional about this the entire time. And of course, Power isn't, because come on, there's not even a need to talk about that. So these two walk into Aki's room, and they talk about how Makima asked them to come in and coach Division Four. Um, and so I thought they all knew each other, to be honest. So apparently he didn't know who these two were. So they must come from like probably like their headquarters division, or I don't know. They probably work behind the desk now. They probably like been out in the field for a while and now just kind of do training. So that's probably their job. They seem a little too young to do that, but I mean, judging by their faces, they've done a lot anyway. They've been there, suffered that, so I guess they deserve that. So on the other side, Makima is taking Denji in power to meet their new coach, and he's going to train them and make them better because they cannot afford to suffer the loss that has um, that has happened to them after this incident with the Yakuza and Samurai Sword and that girl who we still don't know anything about, but who seems to know about them. And they just need to be better. Denji cannot afford to just go crazy in his Chainsaw Man without being trained properly. So this is going to be the moment where they finally get some training, which thank goodness, because he has the potential to be very good, even better than Samurai Sword if you just have some training. So there we go. They're finally going to be able to do that. So he asked them a couple questions, or 3 questions to be exact, and he asked them first, how do you feel about your comrades dying? And this answer almost made me cry on the floor with laughter. It wasn't Denji saying, like, I don't really feel anything, but Power, she said, I thought they died. Oh my god, that was so funny. When I tell you, when I first heard that, I was like, she didn't feel anything. Of course she didn't. But like that, she was like, well, this just is what it is. They've died. Oh well, she ain't feel nothing. Oh, I tell you, that was so funny when I first heard that. That was hilarious. And the way she said it too. She's like, I thought they died. Like she was about to say something meaningful and just not, of course. And then the second thing he asks is, what was the second thing he asks? Um, oh, do you want revenge? He asked, do you want revenge? And he was like, Denji was like, no, that's depressing. That's too depressing. Um, and I forgot what Power said. The third one was, um, which side are you on? I think. And then she said, whichever one's going to take care of me, because he really doesn't have any allegiance. Because, far as he know in his life, he's been abandoned by humans and had to live by himself. So fair play. He doesn't really trust either side, and that is total fair play on his part, like absolutely. And Power's just like, whichever one's winning, and that's logical, and that makes sense. She wouldn't have a side either. Um, and although it is weird how she didn't pick the devil side, but she is still human in a way. Um, so she doesn't care. Just whatever. She'll just join. She ain't got no loyalty. It's just whatever side is the one that's on top. So he's like, well, that'll work out fine. So I can definitely train you guys. And he tells Makima, okay, you can go now. You can go back to Kyoto, wherever it was she was going to. And starts to commence his training. But he's like, you should call me sensei because that's what I want people to call me when I'm teaching them. So go ahead and do that. So he gives him a squeeze. And I was like, I know where this is going. I don't know how they couldn't see that. But he picks them up as if he's hugging them and then proceeds to break their necks. And they fall to the ground because they are not able to move. And he's like, well, you're still human, except when I feed you blood, you can come back to life. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And I was like, oh no, he's gonna just. I was thinking at this moment, I was like, he is going to kill them so many times and bring them back. um, and then he mentioned that like it's going to be a problem for everyone, literally everyone, to be coming after you in your heart, and you don't know how to fight. And I was like, that is also fair play. So he's like, yeah, we gotta get you together because everyone's after you, and you need to be able to fight back, just plain and simple. Um, so we're gonna fix that now. And he concludes by saying, I'll be hunting you. And when he said hunting, I was like, yeah, he's definitely gonna kill them. He's not gonna hunt and then not kill. So he's gonna kill them every time. But you know what? Because what he wait, so you know what? I just thought about something, and we'll talk about it when we get to that point. Something that I just thought about. So Power makes a little blood mini sledgehammer thing, um, and gives one to Denji and keeps one for herself. And they proceed to attempt to put a move on this man, and he kills Denji and slices Power's neck, so she's not dead, but he definitely kills Denji, and he mentions how he's immortal, but she's mostly immortal. And I'm like, well, what's mostly immortal? Maybe mostly immortal, because you can't just be mostly immortal. Like, it's either you're immortal or you're not. And he was saying he could feed them blood and they'll come back, but I think he's got to mean that Denji, he can kill him and bring him back to life. But I think with Power, he'll just almost kill her, like to the point of death. I think if she dies, she can't come back, is what he's trying to say. Because that doesn't make any sense to be mostly immortal. But he never actually kills her because she said that she's just unconscious every time Denji dies. So I think he doesn't kill her because she probably won't be able to come back. But Denji can die. As we've seen, he got chopped in half and came back. So just about anything is possible after that. So yeah. Back at the hospital room, um, Aki is trying to call Cone the Fox Devil, and I don't know. Every time he does this, or every time I say that he's calling Cone, I do this all the time, and I don't know why. Um, but he is calling Cone, and they're like, well, the Fox Devil is probably a little mad at you right now because back 2 episodes ago, um, he called Cone and she ate up Samurai Sword, but he chopped his way like out of her, and yeah, I guess that would make her pretty mad. So she's not responding to Aki's call, and I guess that is fair. Um, so they're telling him that like you're going to have to make some sacrifices and have better contracts with devils so that you can have more of an advantage out in the field, because the contracts that he has just aren't cutting it. Um, so they're telling him to do that, but they're also like, you could just like not do this anymore if you don't want to. You could just leave or go private or whatever. Because he was like, this job is only like, you only have a couple years left anyway. So like, would you just want to enjoy them, or do you want to stay in the game? Because if you stay in the game, you're gonna have to go hard. You're gonna have to make some sacrifices. And he was like, well, the gun devil killed my family, so that's pretty much all that I need to stay in. Um, and he's not gonna rest until they get justice. So even if it kills him, he's going to make sure that he gets the gun devil. Um, so at all costs for him. So he'll do what he needs to, obviously. And then he gets a visitor, and that visitor turns out to be Himeno's younger sister. And we'll talk about their interaction a little further down. But meanwhile, it goes to nighttime, and they've been at the cemetery the entire day, just working and training. He's been working these two to the literal point of death and back again. He's like, well, we're done. So I'll visit your place tomorrow, and we will continue what we started today. And these two are just beat to death, literally. um, but Denji is just dazed because Lord knows how many times he's died and come back, and Power is just spent utterly. Um, so yeah, they're just out of it. Um, so once he leaves, Denji just falls to the ground, and like his brain is so like just out of whack from having to die and come back and die and come back, that like his brain is just like going just all out of whack, just making him act weird. So she's kind of like just punching him in the head, just telling him to just like heal, heal. um, yeah, because poor thing. I mean, that I assumed that was gonna happen. Like, I feel like there's only so many times you can keep killing him and bringing him back, and killing him and bringing him back to the point where he's just going to like not be the same anymore. Even if he can still come back, like that doesn't mean he's going to come back like sane or like the same. So I feel like it's just going to be a point. I mean, that's why you can always excuse his craziness, because I mean, man, like what else? What can you do? um, so he's like, "How many times did I die today?" And she was like, I want to say about 20, but I was also unconscious, so I don't know." Maybe more. So 20 is how many she could count. So at the very least, he's died 20 times. Um, Unfortunately. So he was like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. He can't bully us like this, and treat us like some toys that he always wanted to play with. So Howard's like, you know what? We should put our minds together and try and destroy him, because even though he's the best hunter, oh, I failed to mention he is from Division 1, the best devil hunter out there, and that's why Makima has placed them in his care, because if they can beat him, then they should be ready to go. If they can outwit the best devil hunter, and that makes sense. So him it is, I guess. And he's incredibly thorough, as we'll see. So they're like, we should use our heads and come together and have this plan to try and kill him, or ambush him or something. So he's like, yeah, we should definitely do that. So the next morning, he's coming to their house like he said he was. Um, and these two apparently thought that dressing up smart and wearing glasses was going to improve their ability to think and reason. um, yeah, it's just like I was like, no, they're not wearing glasses just to try and like and actually try and dress smart just to and think that's automatically going to level them up. Um, but of course, they thought that way. They have too much work, too much work. Also, like Power's choice of words are hilarious. Like, let the highly cerebral warfare begin. I was like, who says that? No one says that in English. Like no one says that in any language. So it's like she talks proper, but that's literally it. And I think she only talks proper because the devil that's inside of her can't speak colloquial Japanese. um, so yeah, other than that, she's not smart. She can get smart, but right now, that no, all she can do is just talk smart, and it sounds weird coming out of her mouth anyway because she is not polite at all. So yeah, they think that dressing up and looking smart is going to make them act smart. Obviously, they failed. So he comes up to the door, and she pulls out a little spear from her blood and throws it. Somehow he knows that it was coming and dodges it, but he's the best for a reason. So you can't really question it. Although I'm still sort of kind of questioning it. How did he dodge that? How his reflexes were that quick? But I think he knew it was coming anyway. I don't know, whatever. He's also probably got double contracts that make him be able to see stuff. We'll see all that, I'm sure, later down the road. But he is able to avoid that. And then she also has blood in these liter bottles up on the floor right above. And I was like, you thought that was smart. I mean, the idea was there. It was there. Um, it wasn't a dumb idea. But she has these spears that can fall through the ground, which also means that her blood weapons are really strong because they can literally come through the ground like that. So her blood weapons are strong. She just needs to know how to properly use them and be strategic about using them and what to use and how much blood to use. So that should be the thing that she works on. This wasn't a bad idea in concept, just in execution. Um, I mean, it probably would have worked on a regular person, but he's the best devil hunter and he's in Division 1, so can't fool him. So he just punches and kicks all of them as they fall, and he's right as rain. Then Denji tries to sneak attack with his weapon, but I think he was a little too slow. Like I feel like anyone could tell that you dropped behind him and was ready to strike. I think Power's part of it was faster and more efficient. I think Denji coming on behind him was like, anyone could have seen that, to be honest. Uh, so yeah, that was really poor execution. Um, and he got his ass kicked, got those glasses kicked off of his face, and yeah, that's also the thumbnail as well. And yeah, it was pretty useless. Um, Not too bad of an idea, but obviously work needs to be done on their part to be smarter, more strategic about what they do. And he was like, y'all made two mistakes. One was using all of Power's blood because she'll become anemic. Like she doesn't have any more blood left. So I was like, girl, as smart as that idea was, it wasn't smart at all because you don't have any blood. What's the point of you using all of your blood and you can't even make another move after that? Because what if it fails? And it did. You can't even fight back. You are now exposed to your enemies. So there was no point to that. Um, so yeah, she's just spent. Um, she's anemic. She is in need of blood. So that was mistake number one. And mistake number two was that like Denji didn't see his attack. And I'm just like, I don't know how he could, to be honest. He took way too slow. He was way too slow in my opinion. So he could have easily got. He should have had a better sneak attack. But yeah, those were the two. I don't know how he didn't see. Did you? Yeah, that was really gullible. I don't know how he didn't think he was going to notice that. Because it's not like he was quiet when he fell down from the other floor. Anyone could have heard that. So yeah, those were the two mistakes. And he was like, "I will." As it appears, y'all were trying to hunt me. You made these mistakes, but I'll just come back tomorrow. Since I didn't beat y'all's ass anyway, so I'll just come back tomorrow. And on the other hand, also put some knife to Denji's head. And I was like, is he not going to kill them? Because when he was like, all right, I'll see y'all the next day, um, I was like, so is he not just gonna kill Denji? Like, because he said he's gonna be hunting them. So I'm like, he's gonna kill them all the time, every time he sees them. So when he walked off, I was like, he's just gonna leave them alive? I was like, I don't see it. And then he walked down the aisle and then just threw the knife, and Denji died. I was like, yeah, that makes more sense because I was like, he's definitely gonna kill him or something before he leaves. But also, this is what I was thinking about um, earlier when he was saying that with the blood and how he just needs to feed them blood and they'll come back. After he threw a knife at Denji's head, he left. Like he didn't fill them back up with blood. He didn't feed blood to them. So, at least that we saw. Um, so I'm trying to figure out like how is Denji coming back to life because he needs this blood to like keep going. And Power can't do anything right now. Um, so yeah, I'm wondering if he just kind of left them there, or some were they able to recuperate? I mean, we'll see the next episode, and depending on what they do, I'll have questions about that. Um, but yeah, that was the yeah, and he says, B shouldn't trust anything a hunter says. I was like, I didn't trust what you said anyway, because you said earlier that you were going to hunt them, and by hunt you meant kill. So when he said he was that he was just gonna leave, I was like, nah, that's cap. I don't think he was just gonna leave without killing him. So yeah, that all happened. So we'll see them next episode. Um, So last part of the episode, Aki is being brought down to the building, the floor in their secret building where they house all of the devils that they make contracts with, that they captured. And he's like, since we're going to be making even more sacrifices than normal, this is going to be a pretty like demanding contract, and it's going to require a lot from you in order to truly beat your enemy. But they feel like he has no choice. Um, and while they're walking, the boy of the two asked him, who was that visitor? Was it your girlfriend? And he was like, no, it was Jimeno's younger sister. And he was like, oh, she let you have it, didn't she? And he was like, no, she just gave me a letter. And she gives him this letter because while Himeno was asking if her family was okay, she was also talking about Aki and how she was worried about him and her as well, and how she didn't want them to be in public safety anymore. She wanted them to go private. Um, and that he didn't really think anything of it. He didn't really want to go private. So we find out that she was thinking all these thoughts, and she wasn't planning on being with public safety anymore. So, and that makes sense. It's a pretty demanding job, and the risk of dying is very high. And the double contracts are just terrible. I mean, not terrible in their effectiveness, but like in what you have to sacrifice as the human being. Um, so yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I wonder what makes private better than public. Um, I mean, I mean, I can see the obvious benefits of private versus public, but in this devil hunting world, I wonder what that means, what those criteria are of being in public versus private. Um, so that's what I want to see, because that dude that was a part of their public safety division, he also went private, and um, at the end of that last episode, where he decided to go private, and yeah, I mean, I was thinking about going private. So it was just interesting how private seems like a better option of the two, but for what reason is what I want to know. So yeah, so she had written that letter to her family, and it talked a lot about Aki. So it made sense that the sister wanted him to see what was in it, just to see like what her thought process was and how she felt about their their working there. So that's what that was about. So they take him to make a contract with the future devil, which is getting back to another thing I was talking about when in the episode, what was the episode? Was it episode 6, 7? When my friend Carissa came to join us for the Chainsaw Man discussion, and we were talking about the Eternity Devil and how that devil wasn't a person, place, or thing; it was a concept. Um, and I was wondering like how those devils kind of come to be, um, because usually you'll have like the sea cucumber, like they're usually based off of animals or insects or just things in general. But the ones that are abstract concepts, how do those kinds of devils like form? Like how do they exist? So now, so first we have the Eternity Devil, and now we have the Future Devil. So we don't know what its abilities are going to be until next episode, because we didn't get to have a conversation with them. We didn't have to get to have like a conversation between the two yet. So we'll see what his ability is. It has to be like the ability to know, like, actually, yeah, what would that consist of? So if he's a future devil and he's going to be, because he demand his human sacrifice is also really like demanding, because as he said, um there's only two people that have used it, and the first person had to give up half their lifespan, and the second person gave up like 3 out of 5 senses, which is just totally not worth it to me unless the outcome is like 100% guaranteed you won. Like, you better win every single time you come across an enemy with a sacrifice like that. Um, Otherwise, it's not worth it. It still isn't worth it to me. I'll just train really hard and be the best that I can be, before I do something like that. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at on that situation. I'm afraid I can't sacrifice that. I mean, both of your eyes and your sense of taste and smell. So like, what's the point of eating? You can't smell and you also can't see. Like, what? All you can do is hear. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it's. I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Like that. That future double contract better be the most efficient, best contract of all of them for you to be giving up that. Okay? Because Jimeno, she gave up an eye for that Ghost Devil contract. That girl only gives up a fingernail when she uses the snake. And the snake devil, that's a pretty good one. Like every time she's used a snake, it's been pretty much successful. All she gives up is a fingernail. Now I'm sure that hurts when it gets taken off, but that can grow back. You can't get your eye back, and you also can't get your sense of taste or smell back. I mean, so that seems like the best bargain out of all of them so far. Or you could just be a half breed, like you could like Denji or a samurai sword. But who wants to go through that? No one wants to go through that. Denji had to become Chainsaw Man after getting chopped up um, by the Yakuza in the first episode and coming back to life because his dog wanted to like bring him give him his heart and come back to life. I'm not trying to go through all that just to get no Chainsaw Man powers. I'm fine. Like I'm good. Um so yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. Uh so yeah, he walks in and all we see is this black abyss and an eyeball and we will see what they talk about in the next episode. So, interesting episode, lots of information given and more devils to make contracts with. I mean, Aki's gonna do it at all costs, to be honest, just so he can get revenge and justice for his family. So I'm sure whatever it is, he'll do it. I know the dude said hopefully he'll be nice and make a bargain with you. I don't see what that bargain could be. Um, but we'll see their conversation next week. I'm just not doing it. I'm personally not doing it. um, I mean, I get, but also like I'm not trying to get revenge for my family, all that stuff. I I mean, like him, he knows he has 2 years left to live, so I guess he'll just do whatever anyway. Um, since he is not going to be living that long anyway, at least according to the cursed devil. It's anime world, so anything could happen. But as far as he knows, he only has a couple years left anyway. Did he say 2 or 3 years? Yeah, two, right? Right? 2, 3? One of those two. Still not enough time. But that was the end of the Chainsaw Man episode 10. And we'll see the next episode next week. I usually watch it on Tuesdays, and then I get my slideshow ready for today. And yeah, we'll see what the next episode is about. They didn't what happened? I wonder what happened to Kobani, which was that girl, that useless girl who all of a sudden knew how to fight the whole time. Like, still mad about that. But I wonder where she went. I thought we would see her this episode, but we didn't. So, is she going to join the team and try and hunt down this gun devil, or is she just going to be on the sidelines? And she might as well be, to be honest. But where is she going to be in all this? Um, Samurai Sword and them, like, what are they going to do? When are they coming back? So I'm sure all these questions will be answered. Um, and yeah, I think the thing that I'm most excited about is just knowing what Aki's going to have to sacrifice for this future devil. And I want to know what it is the future devil can do. That's what I was thinking about. I don't know. I wonder what it's going to do. Would it just predict the outcome of the battle? Or, I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to do. It's probably going to be some really wacky concept. Um, but yeah, we'll see. That's just what I'm most excited about. But that was pretty much it. And we'll see the next episode next week. and talk about all those juicy details. In the meantime, oh, I know this time next week something that I've been waiting for a long time is coming out. As you know, if you've been watching these, then you know I cannot wait for Alice in Borderland, the Netflix series, to come out. I've been waiting for it to come out for a whole year. Well, probably even over a year. I think I may have watched it like late 2020. And yeah, like I'm so excited to uh to see this. They're playing for the face cards now in the deck, and they've got to be like so much harder than the numbered cards, which they already had to sacrifice way too much for. So like a whole different ball game is gonna be like it's gonna be cutthroat. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see all the characters again. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm still trying to figure out whether I do if they do one episode at a time, then we're doing reviews on every single episode. Believe that. If they're doing all at once, I guess I'll just have a live stream where I just talk about everything. Um, once I finish watching everything. And yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited, but I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. Or let me know down in the comments what's the best thing you want to do if you watch it, and let me know if you're gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. Ooh. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I may wait until oh no, I can't watch it on Christmas. No, because I'll be over my father's house. But yeah, I don't know if am I gonna savor it for a couple of days. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so excited though. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Get ready for some more videos to come. Like I said, my gaming channel, Mel the Gamer, is out, and I have my I already have videos being posted. Uh, and I've already filmed. I finished filming all of my gameplays for Aliens Fireteam Elite, and they will be released. And like I said, get ready to see some screams, some horror, some terror as I try and finish the game. At the end, you'll see that I'm like shaking, my knees are buckling because I just that game is scary. No matter how many times you play it, it is scary, and you don't know what to do. Um, but yeah, that's all good. There's some other games I'm going to be playing. I've never played Minecraft before, so I'll probably be doing that for the first time. Just getting into some other games and just doing stuff, just fun stuff, pretty much, and just relax over there and watch and enjoy my videos. If you need some time to chill, eat, relax, I've done all that on YouTube. So yeah, go there and subscribe to Mel the Gamer as well, and of course subscribe to Mel the Scientist. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me know your favorite moments of the episode. Watch my other videos on the main channel as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you this time next week, 5 o'clock p.m. for another live stream of Chainsaw Man episode 11. But in that time, take care. I'll see you in my next videos, whether it be Mel the Scientist or Mel the Gamer. And so long and peace out. Thanks for watching.